What is going on, y'all? Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. I got some stuff to say. I do. So, listen, I don't have no intro. I don't have no fancy music playing. Nothing like that. Um, Hi, Penelope. Um, just some thoughts. Just some thoughts, really. Hey, Monk Chip. This is some personal stuff here. And I thought about this a lot. I thought about this because of the current state of what really be going on YouTube and different things like that. I'm like, are you really like doxing yourself? But I don't even care at this point. I told my people before, people play whatever games it is that they want to play when it comes to this whole internet existence thing. And when I first started doing my online thing, I was always comfortable to come and say things about me and my real life and be comfortable with it. And I always was using the platform for what I felt like was necessary. Who is Wesley? Right. Who is Wesley? Me. 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 I am Wesley. Okay. I tell y'all all the time, I am the part of a huge situation. And that situation is the Wesley family. Yes, I'm James Caldwell, but that's my name. But I am a part of the Wesley family as a whole. Okay. So, like I said, this is personal. So the whole thing about me being on my Facebook, streaming on my Facebook too, is I have family members who are, a lot of them are on Facebook. Some people follow me on YouTube, but most of my family members and friends, they're in the Facebook world more so than in the YouTube world. Some of them watch me, but you don't really see them dropping down, commenting and things like that. They're over in the Facebook world where, a lot of people gather. So here's the thing. The Wesley family. I'm a part of a huge family. Don't be confused when you see people. Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, Penelope, I'm live on Facebook as well. Yeah, I'm live on Facebook as well. So don't be surprised. Like when people they be on here trying to act like a lot of the like the little stalker folks and the folks that just don't mean well and the trolls, they be carrying like I'm one of one. I have the shirt that I wear sometimes that says I'm one of one. Yes, I'm one of one when I come knuck if you buck and I'm going up against y'all. Somebody say something I don't like and I'm handling it. I am, when it comes to that, yes, I am one of one. But don't ever believe that I'm actually out here in these streets all by myself. I am the part of a huge tribe. I am not an orphan by any stretch of the imagination. There are a bunch of us. That's why I tell you, I walk through the streets comfortably, and I don't have no issue about walking through the streets. Child, listen, I'm not an orphan. Nobody walking alone, really. You'll never walk alone. Ain't that what Patti LaBelle said? That's what Patty said. That's what my grandmother said. And the older I got, the more I saw. No, I don't ever walk alone. I'm part of a huge family, okay? A huge family. But anyway, so this is the thing. So I was just having a basic conversation. And in that conversation, they were talking about parks. And they were trying to figure out what park it was that you used to be able to use the tickets back and forth. And they're like, there's Cedar Point, and then there's this other park that I can't think of what it is. And it's Geauga Lake is what they were actually thinking of. It's Geauga Lake. Geauga Lake was always like the smaller version of what Cedar Point was, and it's closer to us here in Pittsburgh. So, and then with Geauga Lake, You had Geauga Lake on one side, and there were literally a bridge between them. And SeaWorld was on the other side. You could literally see them from the other place. So very interesting. But that is up in I'm trying to think of what part of Ohio. I think it's Ohio. But that is. I think it's Ohio, but it's a couple hours out there. But Cedar Point is a little further out. We talking about maybe 3.5 hours, I think, to get to Cedar Point. Cedar Point is huge. But Geauga Lake doesn't exist anymore. They don't exist anymore. And I don't think the SeaWorld is there anymore either. But that was the whole thing. But I said all of that to say this, okay? That led me to sitting down, and then I start thinking, because I'm 52. So I'm 52, and most things you'll see it be like, you got a story for everything. You goddamn right I do, because I've lived a good life. I've had a good life that is filled with all types of situations and all types of experiences. So yeah, usually when you throw something out, I will have some type of a story or something to add to the conversation, because that's what a good life looks like. Hello, Natalia. How are you, my love? That's what a good life looks like. So what I threw out to the people I was having a conversation with, I said, hey, have you all ever heard of a park called Idora Park? And nobody, they're like, no, I ain't never heard of that. And for the last few days, I've been asking people, have you ever heard of Idora Park? Nobody remembers Idora Park. So, like I said, it sat me down. I sat down after the Geauga Lake thing. Idora Park is a park I went searching, because my family, actually, we always had an annual family reunion. Every year we did this family reunion. My whole life, there's been a family reunion every year. And we go to North Park. We go to we've been to Riverview Park or West Park over on the north side of Pittsburgh. It's just always somewhere. We always go somewhere. We've gone on bus trips to Detroit for the weekend. We've gone to Atlanta, Georgia for the weekend. These are my memories of me growing up and what my family does. My family reunion is usually like a 3-day thing. It would be a 3-day thing. They would have a meet and greet on that Friday, which I couldn't wait to get old enough to be able to go to the meet and greet, because they would be at the Islam Garage a lot of times. And that's not there anymore. If you go to the north side of Pittsburgh, and the Islam Garage used to sit right back there where Wendy's is, where the Wendy's, like kind of right there where the Wendy's is, and above the Taco Bell, that used to be the Islam Garage. And I could not wait to get old enough to be able to go to the meet and greet at the Islam Garage. Okay. Needless to say, by the time I really got old enough, that was gone. Then there used to be a club. Y'all see me post something. I've been in my feelings the last couple of days. Y'all see me post something on my Instagram and on my Facebook about Sylvester. There used to be a club called 2001. I couldn't wait to get grown enough to go to 2001. It was the disco. Listen, I always knew, even when I always knew, and my family knew too, that whenever I did come of age, baby, I was going to be the life of the party. I always knew it. So I couldn't wait to be able to go to the 2001. And by the time I got old enough to go to 2001, it was gone. So anyway, so I missed all that. I was born in the wrong space. But yeah, I was supposed to be born with the children that did the discos and all. That's where I was supposed to be born at. But that's okay. I keep it alive. So that whole thing went on. And I ended up PT. So good to see you. Hi, baby. What's going on? See, that's the power of being live on Facebook. Hey, PT. So I threw this out about Idora Park. So that led me into this thing with my family. So I'm not going to hold y'all real long. The Wesley family, they all know who they are. I'm leaving this video for my family. I never used this for this before. I never used my social media reach for this before, but it's staying on me. Like I thought about it and it won't leave me alone. So that means I need to speak. I've never used this to actually reach out to my family before at all, but I'm doing it now. So anybody who is a member of the Wesley family, and that means all of y'all. I'm talking to all of y'all. Because the Wesley family breaks down a whole bunch of ways. You got the Blackwells, you got the Jacksons, you got the Manyfields, you got the Bransoms, you got the Daniels, you got the Marcells, and on and on and on. And don't take it personal if I didn't yell out one of your names, but y'all know how our family tree works. It goes and goes and goes and goes. So I am talking to all of you, every member of the Wesley family. I'm talking to you. And if you see this video, share it out, send it over to whichever one of your family members that you're connected to. Because I'm talking to all of us, to the whole clan. Because there's a couple things I want to know, just a fun thing. Do any of you all remember when we went to Idora Park? Why does no one remember Idora Park? I don't know. Nobody remembers. And we went there in the early 80s. It had to be like maybe 82, 83. So like 1982 or 1983. Those are my family, Deanna. When I saw all the names, my main family is Wesley. Those are the breakdowns of kind of how my family tree goes. So I'm really speaking outward. And I thought about it real hard, Deanna, but it is what it is. This is what the platform was always meant for. It was meant for good and for me to do what I need to do. So I'm using it for what it's for. I'm reaching out to my family because I felt like talking to my family as a whole. And that's the fastest way to reach them all as a whole is through social media because that's where they at. So we're streaming on YouTube as well as on Facebook. So just some fun stuff from our past. Wesley's not from Arkansas. I don't think we have anybody in Arkansas. But listen, do some checking because we very well may. Okay? Do some checking. Run your tree. If it runs back to Pittsburgh, baby, you probably belong to us. And now I'm saying this, and I'm not just talking about the blood family, because along the way, my family is very much of the type that we done picked up some on the way. So if you are a person who has been picked up on the way by the Wesley family, I'm talking to your ass too. Take the video. I never ask you all to share videos that I do or anything like that or help me in my YouTube journey. I've never asked you all to do that. I'm telling you, I want you to share the video with all those that are related to us because I'm talking to all of us. And I'm going to get to where I'm going in just a second. Okay. So I'm just going to say that. So Idora Park is actually there and it's in Youngstown. It's in Youngstown, Ohio, which makes total sense as to why we went there, because Youngstown, we can get to Youngstown like an hour and 20 minutes. So it made complete sense. Early 80s, it had to be like 82, 83. Then I'm saying, why did we never go back? Because I remember having a really good time. I'm born in 72. So I'm about 10. I'm about 10 because I'm January. So that summer, I had to be 10. I don't even think I was 11 yet. 9 or 10 years old going to this park. I remember it like it was yesterday. Because one, I love amusement parks. I remembered it because they have some roller coasters that have the same names as roller coasters that are here in Pittsburgh at Kennywood. They have a Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit is literally like legendary. Here at Kennywood Park, they had the Jackrabbit there too. And here's a fun fact: the Jackrabbit here in Pittsburgh at Kennywood Park has a double hill. Okay, that's the attraction to it. It's a wooden coaster, white, and it does this thing. And at the last pass through, it has this double hill where it goes down, and it goes down, then it goes down again. It's this double hill. That was like the intro to having that flight time. That time that where you pop up out of the seat, that was like the big thing. That was the Jackrabbit here in Pittsburgh. Idora Park has a ride called the Jackrabbit. It's a roller coaster as well. It had bunny hops, which is a series of that flight time, and it's the up, down bunny hops. So it made sense with what the name of it is and all of that. Now, bring it up forward, Kennywood Park did the Steel Phantom. Now, this was years back. We got the Steel Phantom, okay? And we had like the largest dip, but then that time has passed. So that was a big deal. And then there was this little pretzel thing that it used to have, but the ride was going too fast and it was fucking people up. Just call it what it is. Call it what it is. Kennywood got a bunch of lawsuits because the ride, it was doing a lot. Okay, it was doing a lot. I prefer the original. I prefer the original. But they used to warn you when you get on, they say, hey, put your head back. You will hear it as you leaving the thing because it's got this real tall climb. They say put your head back against the headrest, and then you say have the harness to come down over. They told you keep your head straight and keep your head back. Folks that didn't keep their head straight and keep their head back, they got lawsuits because maybe it was going to do you. Okay, so they ended up removing. Well, the first year was there for like a year, and then it was like the first ride that I do to come up out of usually when you go into a loop, you usually are going downhill, and then when you hit bottom, then you kind of go through the loop because that's where you build the speed. This ride, for whatever reason, however they worked it out, you come up from down below, and you go up and then go into a loop, and then a bunch of inversions that look like a pretzel that somebody broke. And for the first year, it was fabulous. It was fabulous. And then they ended up that next year when I went, I noticed that when you're coming up into the inversion and all of that, you would hear it say clack, 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 clack. Then a thing to break the speed because the shit was going too fast. It was, child, they had a math right. It was coming up too fast and it was kicking these people's ass, okay? But I loved it. Eventually, a couple years went by, they shut it down. They shut that bitch down, okay? And then they changed that whole piece and they took the inversions out. The whole pretzel thing was gone. Totally ruined the ride for me. Totally ruined it. I ain't like the Steel Phantom ever since, okay? So they took that and they pulled that out and then they put in, guess what? Bunny hops. Bunny hops. And now keep in mind, that was Idora Park. That's where I remembered that from. I said, wow. Now, the bunny hops on the Steel Phantom is a whole different situation because the Jackrabbit at Idora Park was wooden. Baby, the Steel Phantom is a steel coaster. So, it's literally clanked to the track and it's smooth. So, when I say you get that airtime, you literally get that airtime, baby. It be giving it to you. And I'm still a fan of the inversions and the pretzel with the too much speed and the broke necks and the lawsuits. You know I'm stupid. It is what it is. I like the broke necks and the lawsuits. I was here for it because I listened to instructions and I always held my big head back and my head is heavy. So I was fine. Anyway, so okay, so getting to the story of Outdoor Park. What the one thing that I remember the most about Outdoor Park was my Aunt Barb. God rest her soul. My Aunt Barb, she's one of my faves, okay? One of my faves. She's not my aunt. She's actually my cousin. Okay? That's one of my family dynamics. When my Aunt Barb and my grandmother are first cousins, okay? But my Aunt Barb is not the same age as my grandmother, okay? But they're first cousins. So here's the thing. My Aunt Barb she's my mother's age, okay? So I'm not running around calling her Barbara. That shit just wasn't never gonna fly. Okay, so we don't do that. So all of my mother's first and second cousins have always been aunt uncle to me. That's how we do. We call them aunt. You know, that's what we do. So that's just a little background about my family. See, we don't play them games. We know who's who and where they go. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I hope y'all listening. But anyway, one of my main memories of Outdoor Park was my Aunt Barbara. My Aunt Barbara was a jokester. Okay, she was a jokester. She was a whole bunch of fun, and she will cuss your fuck ass out, flat, hurt your feelings, and then say, "And I still love you, babe." But she will cuss your ass out, okay? My girl. So love my Aunt Barb. But my Aunt Barb, she's silly. Now tell me why my Aunt Barb wore this wig to Outdoor Park. My Aunt Barb had a beautiful head full of hair, okay? Red, she's a natural redhead. Beautiful head of hair down past her shoulders. But that's just her. She had braided up her hair, put this wig on. Why are you putting that wig on going to the amusement park? But she did. And we rode that damn jackrabbit and it got the bunny hops. Okay. And this is like one of the best times with Aunt Barb and the one memory that I have from this Outdoor Park trip at our family reunion. Aunt Barb, we get to ride and we hit the bunny hops and Barb's wig hopped. Okay. So the wig hop, and it couldn't have happened to a better person because we know now Aunt Barbara's going to clown. She's going to clown. It's going to be what it is. We're going to laugh about this shit all the way back to Pittsburgh because she's going to clown about this on this bus. And I just know it. We go back, so we can crack up now, but she going to clown about this wig all the way home, and I'm gonna be in stitches, okay? So it got even funnier when we get off the ride, and some of the older cousins are saying to her, "Now, Barb, you knew better than to wear that wig." She said, "I don't give a fuck," because that's her. I don't care. She said, "I ain't bald headed." So she got her plaits, her braids to go to the back. She ain't care. But here's where it got real funny. This little meek and mild white woman comes and says, "Ma'am, I caught this when we was on the ride," and gives my aunt her wig back. You talk about somebody ready to piss on herself. I remember like it was yesterday. It was the funniest shit ever. But that was my Aunt Barb. My Aunt Barb just, you talk about somebody make memories, and I promise you, every member of my family got some type of an Aunt Barb story. They got to, because Aunt Barb was just funny. That's just who she was, just funny. But anyway, that's the one thing I remember so vividly about that park was Aunt Barb, the wig, and the jackrabbit. And then they had the Wildcat, which was their biggest roller coaster. So the other day when I went through all this stuff, I went ahead back and I researched. I said, why did we never go back? The park itself actually had a really, really bad fire. and the damages were too much to even bother with, and they literally just scrapped the whole park. And that happened in 1984. So I said, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense as to why we never went back. Because there was no story. Because listen, you know, my grandmother, if there was a story in like the preparation or somebody ain't do right or the park people didn't do us right, trust, I would have got the tea. Okay. I would have heard the tea. But no, the park was gone. And so this all started as a call for me to my family members to say, do any of you all remember, why am I the only one who remembers Adora Park? Why am I the only one that remembers? I know I ain't crazy. Why am I the only one who remembers? So this is what this video actually started off as, me doing that. But then as I kept moving forward with my day, I lost another cousin. Okay. I lost another one of my cousins who is actually going to be laid to rest. She transitioned. She's going to be laid to rest this weekend coming. And it's a sad situation when I see the gathering, because we don't have our family reunion every year anymore. Okay. So it's been a couple of years, been quite a few years since we've been like really having our family reunion like that. And it broke down. A lot of the older people are gone, you know, and it broke down from the 3 days to 1 day. And then eventually it just dissipated. And I didn't grow up like that. There was a long period of time where I didn't go to the family reunion. 15 years that I got pissed off about some things, and I didn't go to the family reunion for 15 years. Never really regretted not going until when you looking back, like, wow. So that's like a large chunk of time where I didn't, because again, it's one of those things where you always think it's going to be there. You always think it's going to be there. Like, what the hell are you talking about? My family been doing this longer than I've been on the planet. It's something that I never thought I would see the day when there was no family reunion. Like, what are you talking about? But just like that, lickety split, it was gone. It was gone. Right along with our elders, it was just gone. So in the midst of that, like I said, I am not an orphan by any stretch of the imagination. And like I said, you see, I ran it down, told you my Aunt Barb is my grandmother's first cousin. My Aunt Barb's mother and my grandmother is my grandmother's aunt. Okay? She is my grandmother's father's sister. We used to do that with the family. I break it down and tell you who goes where and where they go. When I rattled off them names, all them names I rattled off, I could tell you where those names go. And I could point you to who the elder is that each name falls up under and where they married in. We always could do that. But we can't do that now. We can't do that now. Our kids don't all know each other. And to me, it makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. And it's not all about a family reunion. The family reunion is just a cherry on top. There's no reason that our kids don't know each other. That makes no sense whatsoever. And it became kind of prevalent to me when I moved over here, because I live on the east side of town now. I've always lived on the north side of town, and I am constantly running into people who I am related to, who I haven't seen and haven't seen me since I was young. And they still call off, be like, they know where I belong. They know where I belong. But when it goes all the way down into the grandkids and stuff, I don't know those kids. I'll be out somewhere and you'll hear somebody, their name, or they'll mention something, or they're having a conversation, and come to find out we are related. I don't like that feeling. I don't like it. I really don't. I'm one who, I'm a chit chatter, I'm a talker. So I don't have a problem with saying, hey, listen, I'm your cousin, and it's like this. I'm your cousin for this. I don't have no problem with that. I'll give you a history lesson in a minute. Hey, Lieutenant Blanco, what's going on? So this is where this video is coming from. So that's why I said call it on the Wesley family. And I don't care where you fit in. Blackwells, Jacksons, Manyfields, Bransoms, Daniels, Marcells, and we can go on and on and on and on down in all these names. There are tons more. If you, like I said, if you were one that we brought on in, that ain't really blood, but you family still. You family, you just as important as the other ones. Somebody thought you were just as important, and that's why they brought you in. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family, and that's it. So I'm talking to you too. Y'all take this video and connect. Because I really do hate that the only time that I ever see y'all gather is when we lose somebody. That's when I'll see a bunch of my family members' names all circulating a lot when we lose somebody. So I don't know. It is what it is. And for whatever reason, it put me in my feelings, and I thought about it. And I said, I got this whole social media presence, and what for? If you can't do anything with it that means anything, then what the hell? Throw the whole goddamn YouTube shit in the garbage, right? And I'm not going to do that. So let's see what actually happens. And you don't have to reach out to me. Reach out to somebody. Reconnect with somebody. There's a whole bunch of us. Reconnect with somebody. If we already connected, I don't need you to reach out to me. You already know how to get in touch with me. But you can reach out too. But it's time to make some changes, y'all. It is. It's time to make some changes. This shit is going on too long. And it's like we've gotten comfortable with it. And I don't feel comfortable with it. So true. I definitely been feeling this. And look at this. That's my cousin from around the corner. She's right around the corner from me. So yeah, it is. It don't make any sense, Gwen. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's not about what happened or how it happened or why. It's time for change. There's too much of us. The family is steadily growing. Like the babies got babies. And I ain't keeping up. I'm truly not keeping up. And I feel some kind of way when I see 20, 30-year-olds and I'm in a club somewhere and they start talking, and the next thing I know, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I connect all the dots, and I have to approach them and say, listen, I ain't ear hustling, but I'm your cousin. You know what I mean? It's very empowering, because it's nice to know that, like I said, I don't walk this planet alone. Anybody who be running around there clowning and thinking, you ain't saying nothing, talking to me, you ain't talking no shit to me. And I am not out here by myself, on my own. You know what I mean? But I don't pull my family into foolishness. Trust me. I don't pull my family into foolishness. Baby, I will give it to you. I'll give you just what you're looking for. But I'm not an orphan. I'm not an orphan. We don't have orphans. We got family. And we got a whole bunch of it. A whole bunch of family. So it shouldn't happen as often as it does that I'm having to introduce myself and say, I am your cousin so-and-so. And here's the thing. Usually when I tell them that I am their cousin and who I am, they already put a story with it. Oh. So it shouldn't even be like that, because I should have knew who you were. They know of me. And I mean, some of that works because, again, I'm grown, and they're not as grown, but I shouldn't have been so disconnected from your parents that I didn't know that you was at the age to be in the goddamn bar with me. You know what I mean? I should be actually looking out for you. I should be looking over your shoulder, making sure you're okay, not hearing a conversation and figuring out that I should be looking over your shoulder and making sure you're okay. That's all I'm saying. So that's it. Like I said, not a whole bunch, not a whole bunch. I told you I wasn't going to be here real long, but this is really a call out to my family members, to my family members. To hell with how we got here. Let's get up out of here. We need to connect. We need to connect. A lot of us are very connected, but we need to connect. Ain't nothing like going somewhere and, you know, you pop in and, you know, because I really don't. I never have an issue with going places by myself because 2 seconds after I get there, I'm not by myself no more, you know? So, and that's my life. That's how my life is. And I don't even know, like, I feel sorry for people who don't have their life like that. Like, I would be fine with being by myself, but I can't tell you the last time that I went somewhere and I was literally there by myself and didn't know anybody in the place. That's like being lonely in a crowded room. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. And I think it's an absolute blessing that I don't know what that's about. And I would like to keep it that way. So, all of you Wesley family members, reach out to somebody, share the video with somebody, connect some kind of way, do something different than what you've been doing. Okay? That's it. That's really all I got to say. I love y'all for real. I do. And yeah, that's all I got to say for now. So listen, y'all be safe, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Y'all take it easy. Bye, y'all.